Hi there. I'm Godfrey Hubert, the Texas Annual Conference Disaster Coordinator, or as some people say, the Pastor of Disaster. I'd like to share with you the state of disaster in our annual conference. Few things are more disruptive to our families, to their jobs, our infrastructure, our mental health and physical health, and to our general economy than disaster. For that reason, there's no ministry that is more impactful than your ministry or outreach in times of disaster. There's a recent study that shows that on average, families that live in vulnerable communities lose as much as 7% of their generational wealth with every disaster. And when you think about some of our communities that in the last 20 years have been through 3 to 5 disasters, floods or windstorms, you can imagine how they're becoming more and more impoverished. That is why our outreach in times of disaster is so critical. Disasters come in many forms. We think of them as hurricanes or tornadoes primarily, but there are also hard freezes, pandemics, extended power outages, and in a real sense, the worst of all disasters is poverty. And it breaks my heart to have to report that 1 in 5 children in our state today has food insecurities, even though their parents are working 2 to 3 jobs. The needs are great, my friends, but with them come great opportunities. Jesus said, where bad things happen, grace happens even more. And you know how that happens, don't you? It's because churches show up and step up. So let me encourage your congregation to prepare to respond to whatever disaster may come, and I assure you they will come. Appoint a disaster readiness coordinator and an assistant coordinator and build a team around them. Get to know your community. Not just the neighborhood where your members live, but where the last and the least and the left out are living. Get to know your county disaster management team. And then collaborate with other churches. So engage with me. Plan, prepare, and train your congregation. I can help with all these things. To train them to respond. I also want to let you know about our current recovery efforts at this time. Southeast Texas is currently under 2 federal disaster declarations. We responded by deploying mucking and gutting, tarping, and debris removal. Initially, we coordinated with local volunteers from local churches, but eventually put out a call for United Methodist Committee on Relief ERT teams. UNCOR has generously provided 3 solidarity grants totaling $30,000 to kickstart our relief efforts. And through our strategic partnership with Hope Disaster Recovery, we have received funding to rebuild 43 homes. Since the 1st of August of this year, we've already completed 12 home rebuilds. And we're also in conversation with UNCOR for funding to cover our recovery efforts next year. We hope to rebuild an extra 50 homes with the help of UNCOR and the Mennonite Disaster Services. To help that effort, we have forged a strategic partnership with the Amish branch of Mennonite Disaster Services. They'll start coming later this fall with skilled volunteers, and we'll be hosting them at the Mission Center in Conroe. We're also training our local church volunteers in mucking and gutting, tarping, compassionate care, and debris removal. If there's something we have learned from these recent storms is that we are all in this area ill-equipped for debris removal. And so hundreds, if not thousands of families still have trees on their homes and in their yards because we don't have the heavy equipment and machinery for that debris removal. And I'm glad to announce that we have secured rights to a skid steer with grapples and have started training drivers who will support debris removal. We are also distributing basic needs out of our warehouse. Specifically, recently we received 300 mattresses from the Salvation Army and Good 360. And those mattresses are going to replace mattresses that were destroyed or soiled in recent flooding. Additionally, we're continuing to host mission teams from your churches in the Conroe Mission Center. I hope you'll reach out to me or Christine Riggle at the Mission Center. Our contact information is on the screen. And we look forward to helping to guide and to facilitate your church's mission outreach in times of disaster. There are many opportunities for every person. For those who are capable, they can muck and gut and tarp. Others can assemble relief kits. and others can help us with the ground and building maintenance at the Mission Center. Disaster response is always available to your community and your churches in all the areas that I've already spoken about. Again, please reach out to us and let us know how we can support your outreach in times of disaster. Thank you again for the opportunity to share with you. May God bless you and keep you safely as you bring grace to bear in the most difficult of circumstances.